In. Hello. Hi. How are you guys? How are you doing? I'm
Hello,
just
everybody.
I have Hannah with me. So we're here live and we already have when I click on it, you can see the question now I think underneath us.
Oh,
So this is one of my regular guests that I love. This is P44 Chippo. She's out of the UK. And I'm losing my voice, you guys. Sorry. Okay. Also, just a note, heads up everybody. If my computer shuts down, I'll be turning it back on. It's been doing that again. So just I let Hannah know. I have Hannah. She's here with me. She is the creator of the deck of character. You guys know this one?
ooh,
Yeah. Woo!
ooh.
Yeah. This deck of character. Gonna make a new song. YouTube can't come after me for this. Because I made that one myself. Yes. So Hannah's made this wonderful deck. She's the mama of the deck of character, the DOC, and she's got all kinds of cool things. Oh, hello, Leslie King. Hi, Cheryl Siminoff. I'm glad you made it back. And we've got some folks from Australia as well. Leslie's in Australia. This deck was made in 2021 by Hannah here, and I'm going to allow her to let us know how she came about doing this. So, Hannah, mama of the DOC, take it away.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. So this is the deck of character. I actually drew it in 2017. It came to me out of the blue. I hadn't done very much tarot in the past. My introduction to divination was actually the I Ching, an ancient Chinese oracle. And I did the I Ching throughout my 20s. And then when I was 27, it felt like the deck of character was just beamed into my head. It was very much channeled. Aside from the I Ching, on the ground walking, I found a book called Channeling What It Is and How to Do It by Lita De Alberti.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's Canadian. And it's just a short, tiny book about channeling. And so I was starting to play around with channeling. And one night, the deck of character came to me out of the blue.
You just kind of like
Um,
download.
mhm. I was an artist at the time in New York City, and I was looking for my next project to work on. I had fallen in love with live comedy, and I was playing some characters on stage. So
Oh,
that's where kind of this idea of the deck of character came from.
really?
It was like some characters I was playing around with, and some of it is like an anthology of my life. And I was proposing a show to a gallery in New York, special gallery, and I thought they would like the cross section with the I Ching and this like playful card game that was also inspired by my comedy background.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And just so you guys know, she's young lady. She's about 32, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she's already got her deck out, and that's really cool. So you're based, I think, out of well, like Syracuse area. Is that right?
Yep. Syracuse, New York. Yeah, eventually I left New York City, and the deck of character is what became my main focus. I left comedy and didn't know that I would be an oracle designer or run this as a business.
Oh my
Um
god.
yeah, it just came completely out of the blue.
Shield Maiden's Divine Feminine Wisdom Tarot. She's also out of the UK.
Oh,
Says hello
cool.
to you. She says, "Hi, Hannah."
Hi, Shield Maiden.
Yeah, and there's a lot more people making their own decks now. I mean, it seems to me like there's an
Mhm.
explosion. Um,
Yeah. I would say it's a renaissance.
I think so too. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got little bits of one that I just am like I'm calling like a demo deck, and then I'm gonna fiddle around with like here's one of them I've done.
Further in the future. Nice. I love that.
It's got of course I've got a skylight directly over, so everything's getting bleached out the color. But I've just been working on some myself, and I find like shallow. This one was coming.
Ooh,
You can see with my water background.
that's cool. That's no mistake.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
How long have you been working on it?
I've been doing probably about a year with just cards and then like falling off, starting kicking out some and then having health issues and then having to come back to it. And then after I found yours, there's like, oh, hers is really great. Oh, I like this size because I've got really small hands. And I just liked the simplicity. And there were certain things that would coming to me that I thought, oh, and like little downloads as well. Like I could see one for like healing, like you know, I'm just putting some that I've been doing just for myself, just because I
Yes.
I do a lot of true crime. And your deck is also, I mean, your deck goes across any, you know, I don't know what topic where that you want to read upon. If you're wanting to look at something that's kind of more dark, you can, or light. And that's one of the things that I really like about your deck. Um, so the also I wanted it makes a lot of sense what you were saying about the characters. I thought, wonder where she came up with, because I laughed when I saw the love goddess. And I love the little flowers in her hair and then little flowers down in her lady garden. Her little lady garden was so cute, and I just got this impishness, this sweetness, and it just made me really laugh. And I thought, I love this love goddess one. She's so much fun. So is there?
Yeah. The Love Goddess was specifically a character I played in New York City.
I
There was
had a feeling.
a short video that went along with it, and, another performance artist friend gave me the wig, but it was, like, curls up top, and then it went long down by my side, so the curly gesture of the hair came from this wig that someone literally gave me, and there were flowers in the wig. And then there's flowers over the lady part so that it's, like, inclusive to all people.
Right,
Mhm.
and it's a beautiful, simple little flower.
Yeah.
Doing that's what, and because that caught me, and I just laughed out loud because it was so sweet. I
Mhm.
loved that, and then, of course, Weirdo cracks me up.
Yeah, I just love the drawing weirdo. I've been making that drawing, like, as a joke with my brother for since I was, like, 13 years old. So some of the drawings come from my childhood too.
That's so funny, and
Mhm.
I think that has to automatically, um, you know, be part of when you're creating art, um, whether you know it or not, whether you're conscious of it or not, part of that channel, but I think it's part of our little lens
Yeah,
in
and
interpreting things.
what you said about the deck being able to play it and speak to all parts of life, both good and bad,
Mhm,
um, came from the I Ching as an inspiration, because the I Ching is, the book of changes. It's
mhm.
all about the seasons of life, and sometimes you're in your winter, sometimes you're in your summer, sometimes, like, the sun's fully in the sky, and sometimes there's no light at all, like,
That's the
everything's in
truth.
shadow, and I really wanted the anthology of the deck of character to speak to that, that sometimes things aren't going well, but sometimes things are the greatest and most magical and, like,
And hold
elaborate.
on.
Yeah, and there's hope, no matter what, and the game is pretty easy to use. I like to call it a game, it's also an oracle, but
Yeah.
the game is so easy to use that you pull cards pretty frequently. So even if you get rough cards and you contemplate that, generally you pull again and you get something different that's inspiring. And
And
sometimes you pull the same cards over and over again.
yeah, and it's like, maybe I'm not getting the message. That's when you wanna write it down when you see those repetitions. That's what I've discovered in doing this.
Mm.
I also like your packaging, and I like the fact that, you put this of course, with my eyes now, I need, like, reading glasses practically, but, I love the message of "You are incredible," which is on the lid, and so many people are so awful to themselves, myself included. And I think that when we have these little things and rock on, well, I love music. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, I'm big fan of music. When I'm not doing this, and when I am doing this, I'm often listening to music or have it on. Um, and I like that. And this is, she, she's written that there's one or more players, ages 13 and up. And there's also, I got to ask you, hot springs, what?
What does it mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hot springs are like an alchemic
Ah,
location. Like you put your body in the hot springs if they're not too hot. Um,
yeah, I've done
and
that
like
before.
it can be the water can be extremely healing for your body, and it's just this like natural source of
Healing.
healing. And there's flowers around the hot spring, so kind of like Love Goddess,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like an ode to blossoming and kind of healing and becoming your better self. There's steam coming out of the hot springs, the little wisps on top of the hot spring pool, and
Mhm.
that's can be an ode to passion. But also hot springs
Steamy.
sometimes can be too hot. So the
Mm,
shadow aspect of the card is like, be careful. There could be danger. Sometimes things are too hot. So,
right, and I like that also on the back of the cards, you've got, "This is a place."
hmm, yeah, there's three categories: characters, tools, and places. And that was very much channeled from day one. The game was called the Deck of Character, and the system was three topics: characters, tools, and places.
Right, and the other one I think that is really always makes me laugh is dancing shoes.
Yes, that's one of my favorites. It's always a good sign when it's pulled.
It just reminds me of, the Irish have a way of saying that, "Are you dancing? Are you asking?" And war. This is very appropriate, unfortunately, when reading on global situations.
Yeah. Even the other day, I pulled, like, pretty peaceful cards. I usually pull 3 cards, and I look at the bottom of the deck. The 3 cards is, like, just a complete system that paints a finished picture, in my opinion. Sometimes I pull more than that, but I generally teach people as they're beginning to pull 3 cards. And, I pulled the other day, I pulled 3 really basic cards that were very peaceful, pretty optimistic, and then the bottom of the deck was war, and I was like, "Where did that come from?"
Oh,
I live in the country, and things are going pretty well for me in general in my life, so I'm like, "Huh, that's strange," like,
and
reflection on where I'm at right now. And then, like, an hour later, my house was getting the roof done, and like a whole entire like mob of 50 people like climbed the roof and like put boards all against the windows and like blocked my car into the driveway, and it was like a complete war zone all of a sudden.
oh
And I
my
was like, oh
god,
my gosh, that's the war card that I just got. And
you
I was,
found
yeah,
it,
stuck in the house for like 12 hours
and it's
till they
proof
finished the roof.
that there's humor in it as well. It's like, okay, I get it.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
the other one that there's some other ones that I just, oh well, I love them all. I do. Uh, I like Claw because I've got my cat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, claw, I usually go to, like, you're finding your way, like, you're clawing around, like, just kind of groping, looking for solutions. Usually when I'm in the creative process of, like, trying to find something, discover something, I pull the claw card.
That's interesting. It's interesting to
Mhm.
hear this from the creator. I'm just so stoked that you're here. It's like, "Pinch me, she's here. Please." And please, if my computer goes out, everybody hang on, I'll start it back up, don't worry. The other one, but I'm a little dark. I do like your Grim Reaper.
Yeah, a story for the Grim Reaper card is a friend of mine was about to go on a cross-country motorcycle trip, um,
Oh,
and we were pulling cards before the trip, and he asked the deck of character, "How's my trip gonna go?" And he pulled Grim Reaper, and, like, obviously, that's pretty startling and unnerving, and I was like, "Don't worry, it's just the end of a chapter." That's usually how I read Grim Reaper, like, the Grim Reaper is the symbol of, like, this chapter of
yeah,
life is ending.
yeah.
And it turns out, like, a month later, he hit a cow at sunset on his motorcycle in the road, and he launched off his motorcycle, broke his leg, but survived the accident, and, yeah,
Oh,
that's the story of the Grim Reaper.
maybe also to be careful, a bit of a warning there of like, dude, 'cause those bikes are fun. They are. I remember, and but it's a heck of a risk, and especially to hit a cow and when you're out in the country. Because originally, though I live in California now, much longer than I ever did where I'm from originally is Northwest Missouri. There were a lot of cows, and I was out in the countryside, probably not too dissimilar from yourself. Um, and that was so dangerous because like they could get out, and I in the morning I could hear mooing, and I knew that I'd have to go out there and run them off. But to hit it with a bike, I mean, we get a lot of people hitting deer here or having
Mhm.
a fatal accident. So yee. So tell us about the elves.
The elves, as a designer, were inspired by little clay elves I used to make when I was, like, around age 13 with one of my best friends. We played a game called Claymation, and we literally made elves that look just like that card.
Oh
But,
my god.
metaphysically, I usually read them as lessons, like, all the lessons you need to learn, all the skills you need to develop to, achieve something. And in
Ah,
the realm of dating or love questions, it's usually, like, all the people you need to date or have dated to, come up with a certain understanding or wisdom.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. It's like these are the lessons that get you ready for something better and something better and something
Yes.
better.
Yep.
That's so where did this wisdom come from, Hannah? Have you always been I have a feeling that you've always, as a child, been rather curious sort?
Yeah, I think I've always been connected to something, like, when I was, really little, I used to lay in bed and look out my window and, like, look at all the stars in the sky and be like, "I wonder if there's other life out there. I
I
wonder about, like, the veil of, like, the world that we can't see, and, like, can this veil communicate with us?" I did have
oh, yeah.
curiosity like that, but I didn't understand oracles or divination or mediumship until kind of my late 20s when it started happening to me,
Mhm.
and,
Ditto, actually.
really?
I had it in waves. It's interesting. I did live in a house that was haunted in Missouri, uh,
Oh,
and it's actually on the historical register and in St. Joseph. Beautiful, beautiful home. Um, but it that was my first exposure, and I was like 2 when we moved in there, and I was about 7 or 8 when we left.
mm,
And it was more shadow, unfortunately, not really pleasant, but it taught me some powerful, really strong lessons very, very early about protecting my energy, and that not everything out there is nice, you know. And so, of course, then the more positive things that I experienced later in my around my 20s when I was having my children, late 20s. First one was 23 and the other one was 26. So around about that area, the times between my children, I was having these really awakening type of dreams.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I like I said, I was an artist and I made a lot of art, and that was kind of my gateway to channeling. And
Absolutely.
I did the book The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. Do you know that book?
Yes, I do. In
And she
fact, I meant to get through it. Ooh.
um I found the book really beautiful, but Julia has you write 3 pages a day just to kind of get your thoughts out of your head, and I
Mhm.
found around the time that I found the book on the ground, channeling what it is and how to do it, that I started channeling through my writing, having psychic premonitions and downloads, and this wisdom that didn't seem like it was from my ego come through in the writing. And in my comedy, in my sketches, like, this channeling or otherworldliness or connectedness started coming through.
And I also find that writing is a
Mm,
processing is a good way to open up and process. I do the same thing. I That's why I grab my notebook. It's like there's art in here, there's
yes.
readings, there's um I don't know, there's all kinds of stuff. There's stream of thought, there's lyrics, there's it's just as you're saying. So I can totally relate to what you're laying down.
Yeah. I find speaking it's the hardest, and it took
Yes.
me years to be able to speak my channeling, but writing and drawing comes first, easily.
Yeah. I think that's really astute. It is really hard to put what you pick up into words that can convey a whole, meaning, and especially when we don't often have context,
Yeah.
and
I
we
think
don't know what we're getting, but it's like, but we know we're getting.
mhm. Yeah, I personally believe that, yeah, your body is a system, and you have all these emotions in your body like fear or excitement, joy, love, um, and you get downloads through your crown, and you have your ego in your brain that sometimes blocks the downloads or questions it. And if you have any fear in your system or doubt, it blocks your ability to speak out the channeling because the channeling has to go through your body.
Yeah.
And you have to just be a very clear system. And it takes a lot of training and a lot of practice. But that's why the deck of characters is so cool because you can kind of start where you're at. And the cards are so easy to interpret that if you play with somebody and you play out loud, um, you can just start speaking what you see in the cards. And you can start with like such little interpretations, and then it gets deeper and deeper the more you practice with your body.
That's true. And like these are all like a springboard in
Yes.
I feel like.
Hmm.
So devotee.
Devotee, it's the best. The highest, fortune you can get in the I Ching is modesty.
Oh,
Um, the value of the time when the book was written was if you're, like, living a modest life, the whole entire world can truly open up in your favor. So the devotee is my nod to modesty, like, the character is on their knees,
mhm.
hands are over the heart, they're smiling, their eyes are closed, It's just
Then
very much like they're sitting in devotion to something bigger than themselves.
that's so beautiful. I love it.
So that's what that card represents.
I love that. I love that. I also really like this, the house under construction. That can
Yeah.
really help for people that are looking to move like myself, you know, and it's like, oh, this
Oh,
one comes up.
cool.
It's like I that's the one I'm always hoping to get, you know?
Yes. Yeah, I personally like that there's the home card and house under construction. House under
Mhm.
construction speaks to like the process of becoming, which is so important.
Like you're the
Um,
house.
yeah, you're the house. And then home is kind of like the idea of getting there, but it's two-dimensional. When under construction's three-dimensional.
Very much.
So it's like, which one's better, house under construction or home? Like the idea of being home or and
Ooh.
arriving or the process of becoming and embodying that? I'm not sure.
I just love how it's a simple thing and people can not make don't have to make any excuse because and it's fun. And it is should, I think, be in every nursing home, honestly.
Wow,
I
that
I
would be a dream come true.
I really do because, having just, uh, my disability, and that's where they send you if you to post-surgery to heal, um, I got to see how little, stimulation really goes on for these
Mm.
people, and the brain, you know, this would be fun, and there's the house. I like that these 2 were together as well, that they came up I read a lot in pairs.
Oh, cool. Yeah. When you pull 2 cards in the deck of character, it's called the 1-2 punch.
That's right, because I also wanted to bring up and let you share, about you've got some really cool spreads that you can squeeze like a lemon, you know, more out of these juicy cards. And I, of course, being with music, also I love the, guitar and stereo. Did you play
Yeah, those are
music?
great cards. No, I did well, I played the cello for 2 years, from
Oh,
4th
it's
to 6th
beautiful.
grade. Yeah, the cello is a beautiful instrument, but, I don't know, it was just in public school, like, you could pick an instrument and play. And I'm not a great singer. I channel lyrics.
Me
They're
too.
kind of poppy, but I feel like a Reiki healer once told me that that's just the way the angels communicate with me through, like, rhyme, and I write poetry, but I don't think it'll ever be put to music.
Same here, same here. I do it for more I think for my own pleasure. And it
Mm.
it's like yeah, yeah. I mean, that would it really is because that's what it's one of those things that, you can't help but do. It's like, I wanna do this, and I don't want anybody in my family to bother me because this is my thing. I'm doing my thing, you know?
Oh, beautiful.
So it's so interesting you do the same thing. And hello again to everyone that's joining us. This is Hannah from Deck of Character, and we're talking about how she came up with these cards, and it's fascinating. And I'm just so glad to have you on here. And it's going to make me I deepen my reading with this deck. This is one of my main ones, and I like that they're small, like I said, because I'm a really poor shuffler as well. So I side shuffle, and my decks get really torn up, like, you know, easily. They kind of wear. So this deck is relatively safe with me. It's holding up really well. Um,
Oh, good.
so here's the punch you were on about,
Oh, yeah.
which I also liked. That came up in a reading for me where it's just like, yeah. And I needed that, you know, at the time.
That's usually how I read it. It's like, "Take action forward, like, it's time."
Yeah, it's like and it was a real positive, empowering, experience, so I really liked that. So you had worked in comedy in New York, just for people that are coming in, and, you're in Syracuse, out in the countryside or up in the countryside, now, back back in the beautiful fresh air. Uh, so you're what else are you doing with this deck? There's so many things I wanna ask you at once, so I'll have to slow myself down. But what are you doing so far in around Syracuse area? Because I have a lot of viewers around Niagara, and
Oh,
yeah,
cool. I'm just like living a really quiet life. I'm a huge introvert and
me too.
I go for walks in the woods every day with my
Lovely.
family's dog and I swim in a lake that's nearby.
Oh, that's
Um
wonderful, Hannah. Next time, I'm just, just take me in spirit with you because I'd love to be able to do that again.
when the deck first came out, I traveled for 3 years and played in Berlin, New York, LA, Tucson, Arizona, San Francisco,
That's
and
where
then,
I'm.
like, everywhere in between. Oh, you're from San Francisco?
Well, that's where I'm living. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, really? I didn't
yeah.
realize
That
that.
picture behind me, I took. I'm right.
Where is that? Is that Baker Beach?
No, it's Pacifica.
Oh,
I'm south. I'm more toward more like Half Moon Bay. It's a drive-through kind of
cool.
town. I'm wanting to move, but something
Oh,
more quiet. But yeah, I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. My husband lives
wow.
there. So that's really cool.
Uh,
You went to I'm like, you went to Berlin?
mhm,
That's an artist's dream. How
mhm.
did you find Berlin artistically for what you were doing?
So Berlin is the reason the deck of character became something. It was just a prototype for a year. I drew it in 2017 and then played it on the back of index cards with people and found that people like to play it in groups at parties.
Oh my god.
And I didn't expect that. I thought it would just be like, I'm such an introvert. I was like, this is just for like solo
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah, me too.
And then I was at a party and people were like, "This is hilarious. Like, I love playing this at a party."
It would be perfect. It would be.
So yeah, I just kind of like got my toes wet and I was so new to channeling and mediumship that I didn't really I was like I just everything was so new to me. And then a friend who was living in Berlin, who is part of an art collective called The Palace.
Oh, wow.
They were doing a show on, mental health for the arts called What's on Your Mind,
Mhm.
and they were like, "The deck of character would be perfect for this. Would you, like, consider coming to Berlin and doing the deck of character?" And I was at yet another crossroads in my life, and I decided, like, "Okay, this is something that I should self-publish." And, like, within a matter of a month, I got cards printed through a manufacturer in India, and
Uh-huh.
now they're manufactured in the United States, but the first round of decks that are, like, the most collectible,
Oh, that's so interesting. I had no idea. Were printed out of India.
yep, um,
I'll
yeah,
be
with this a
looking.
really common manufacturer, yeah.
I'm a
Some
little.
people only play with that deck.
Really?
Mhm, I like this deck more personally, but,
The
it's a little higher quality.
2010?
Yeah, oh yeah, 2000 it's called the upgraded first
21,
edition.
sorry. Yeah. Duh.
Um, yeah, so I flew to Berlin and I was there for a month and, What's on Your Mind was the first weekend I was there and people liked it. I sold the deck for the first time to
Oh
people
my
there,
god.
and then, Berlin's a really open-minded town and a very creative town, and people just started inviting me to their homes and their house parties to play the deck of character, so I just would bike around the city with decks in my backpack
That sounds
and
magical, Hannah.
play, and that's kind of how I grew the business, just through word of mouth and
And
small events for
and
3 years.
and just kinda being open and flexible.
Mhm.
I like
Mhm.
that because 'cause I'm an
Mhm.
introvert and I can be very social, but see, here's another reader friend. There's a lot of readers I'm seeing coming in here. "I bought
Oh!
those cards."
Oh, I love hi, Ron. I love unconditional love, and
Yes,
yeah,
and
Ron Tarot.
he's out of Quebec.
Oh, cool. Hi,
Yeah,
Ron.
and, let's see, I think Shield Maiden Has it?
I'm
I'm just
loving it.
looking just to see what people are saying. So I want to again welcome everyone coming in. Um, this is Hannah from the deck of character that I have talking with us about her deck, and we're just letting her know how much we love it. And she's giving us all kinds of really good extra info on this deck. If you like it, you're going to want to play this back seriously. So I want to again thank you, Sharon Sipe, mod extraordinaire, for this post. This is right down here is the link if you want to go, and if you haven't already ordered this deck. And as Hannah was saying, you don't have to, you can play it as just a card game for silliness, but you were surprised to see people playing it in groups, and I'm sure just as my husband would say, taking the piss out of each other. And he's from London, so yeah, the different phrases. That's the other thing I loved about doing a little bit of traveling that I got to do, is how the different terms, different turns of
Yeah.
phrase.
Yeah, I learned when I launched the deck of character in Berlin, it was mostly to a UK audience, and
Really?
I would say, like, "Let's pull cards," or like, "Oh, that was a great pull."
Mhm.
Um, and my UK friends told me that for them, that means making out.
Oh, oh, yeah. Yeah,
But
there's
I still say it. I can't find a better phrase than saying, like, "That was like, let's pull cards," or "That was a great pull." I don't know what else to say.
it is true. That is a phrase that they do use. I mean, pulling that bird, they would say, because I'm not gonna mess it up. I like Explorer too. That's always an exciting card to get.
Yeah, I like that the star is on the flag. The star for me symbolizes, like, your hopes and dreams and you having the courage to, like, bundle up against the weather, against all odds, and just, like, go for your hopes and dreams.
That's beautiful. It's a
Mhm.
lot like the star in the tarot, in my opinion. Can
Mm.
or how it strikes me, just from that.
Oh,
And
that's beautiful. I haven't heard that. That's a really good insight.
yeah. Oh, it's one of the when you just said the star, it's just like popped open, in my head, and I just could see the star, because there's a deck that I really enjoy more black and white decks now. Um, I love color, but I also love black and white.
Yeah.
And there is another deck here that's pretty cool. Tarot of the Abyss has some interesting looking. This is just a booklet. That's the
Oh.
Tower.
Oh, wow.
But anyways, these I find it's interesting that I feel like I get sometimes more of a heavier kind of a download, I guess, if you will, of insight. Sometimes just using these, I think sometimes the simplicity, but other times it's all about the colors. So it's I don't know. I
Interesting.
Yeah,
If there's any card like the tower and the deck of character, and someone told me this, and I'm like, "Oh, wow, you're right. I have it right here," is sunken ship.
yes, yes,
To me,
that
that's the tower.
yeah, because the people are falling out of the windows of the tower, and you're going down.
Yeah.
No.
And in this card, the cross, which to me is the paradigm of Pisces, like the rigid hierarchy of like the patriarchy has fallen to the ground. And
Yes,
this like fluidness of
let
the
more
fish.
of that.
The fluidness of the fish reigns supreme. And like the age of Aquarius is all about fluidity and flexibility and working together and
Yeah, and just people losing their cool because they don't wanna have to just, I don't know, be chill. I just don't get it. But it's changing, it's happening.
it's happening.
That's really cool. I pulled that card the other day, and I just wasn't, sure about how that was, going to apply. Now I know even more. And of course this one's got to be, everyone's.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Pope.
Yeah, I've seen like really serious tarot readers on YouTube pulling poop, and they're like, okay, I don't know how to interpret this, like how to make like some deep metaphysical meaning out of poop, but it's like, no, it's an end of a cycle. It's like it's time to let go. It's just you've gotten everything you can out of your life lessons, and it's just time to like move on.
Release
That's
those
how I read
toxins.
poop. Yeah, release those toxins. You've digested everything.
End
Just yeah,
result.
let go.
No more.
And
Nothing you want to hold on to.
yeah, and the shadow's over because it's like this black form on the card. The shadow's over.
That's good. And I've even heard some people say like that they look at it as basically somebody's not being truthful. It can be like that's bullshit, or that's
Oh, I
shit.
love
That's a
that.
load of shit.
Yeah, that's great.
So I somebody did bring that forth because I got that. I was just like, okay, wait a minute, poop, because I can handle it, with gloves, clean. But I was just thinking, wait a minute, and so it was like, oh, it's shit. And so it's like that's another good way to look at it. And being that I have IBS, maybe I'm just a little too obsessed. But guts,
I
also
love the
having the
guts card.
guts.
I love the guts card. I love the drawing. I love the meaning. I love, yeah, all the interpretations. It can be like have guts, like be gutsy right now. It can
Mhm.
be like you're traveling this winding path back and forth because it's like this long tube. Um, yeah, it can be like time to digest things, like take it slow, like let things evolve and like transform in your system.
Right.
I love the guts
Digest.
card.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
do too. Because it's like I always feel like this world's just in way too much of a hurry. It's that's part of the problem, in my opinion. It's like we need to slow down again. Um, the other one was blood on the hands.
Yeah, that one's I get it sometimes, and I hate it whenever I get it.
Mm.
Yeah, it can be to see, like, someone's not being honest, like, there's blood on your hands. I usually yeah, like, caught red-handed. I usually
Uh,
read it as, like, the work that has to be done, which is usually, like
blood, sweat, and tears.
yeah, like a hard pill to swallow whenever I get it of, like, you need to make the effort, like, you need to, um
Give 100%.
yeah,
Yeah.
or yeah, or it's a sign that someone's feeling guilty or
Uh-huh.
shameful. It can be a nod to ancestry, like your bloodline.
Absolutely, I can see that too. You can
Mhm.
just it's and definitely would be having to your question would help you to understand the context. That one's really neat. Of course, there's just there's more here. I wanted since you said about Berlin and everything, tell us about circus.
Circus was the card I kept pulling in Berlin, and I was
I
hanging
had
out
a
with a
feeling.
I was hanging out with a lot of circus performers at the time. It was just the social circle I found myself in.
Oh my God.
Um, and there was a circus in Berlin too. It usually means when I pull it as a huge introvert, it usually means that like I am being more social. Like, it's a call to like get in the ring and experience things and like meet all the different minds that are around and all the different skills and gifted people that surround you. It can mean gossip and drama, which
Mhm.
I take that card with a grain of salt usually when I pull it because 'cause I'm like, "Okay, it might be
Yeah,
good to embrace the people around me, or there might be a lot of gossip and, like, strange
drama.
yeah, strange
Ugh.
drama happening."
I get it. I get it. I also like I just like the image of the magnet as well.
Mm, mhm, me too. I love the, like, attraction, little
Yeah,
zigzags coming off the
the
magnet.
energy and, what you attract to you,
Exactly.
taking a look at that, especially where relationships and, well, just in general, and believing that gets you off into the area of intention and manifestation.
Oh, I love that. See, you're a pro. You know what these cards mean.
Um, I've been doing it for a while, but that there's always something new to learn. There's always something new to learn. Like you're telling me so much more now that it's going to enhance the reading. I know it, and I so appreciate that because you cannot. That is such something that you can't just get. You cannot. You can. To sit there and talk to the creator of a deck that you really enjoy and have them fill you in with a bit more information is so cool. I also love this one, fairy, because
Oh, yes.
that's when I it's like when I feel like I need to be a little more light and go out in the garden and that kind of thing. I
Oh,
identify.
I love that interpretation. Yeah, I usually read fairy as an incoming miracle, like, something
Ooh,
serendipitously is gonna work out for you.
like a turn of good fortune or something.
Yeah, or like an epiphany.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
That's really neat. And being from Missouri originally, from Tornado Alley, that meant that can,
Tornado.
yeah,
I usually read tornado as a good thing, like good change is coming. It can be like complete disaster, like you've been warned, but
right.
I usually read it as like good change, like jump into the change, jump into the tornado. There's
Yeah,
a rise in Kundalini energy, like
there's that
jump into the
spiral.
change. Yeah, I think life is a spiral, like the journey's a spiral, and we're just getting more and more honed into our truth.
I agree.
So, I personally love the tornado card because 'cause I'm like, "Your truth is coming, your truth is coming."
Very true. And tornadoes are part of a system that renews, so it's a
Mm.
very powerful dynamic. Uh, I also like, there's so many of them that I could go on, but let me just see. There's ones, of course. I always am happy to see the farmer because
Oh.
introversion.
Yeah, farmer is like long-term growth, like invest now, invest in what your ideas, plant the seeds, believe in your dreams. It's kind of like explorer, but a little bit more, hands-on and like a little bit more of,
Mm,
I was gonna say a mastermind energy, like you're planting the garden, you have to like plant all the areas for them to grow on their own.
yeah, you've
But
organized it and you've got a system
yeah,
and
I would say
maintaining.
yeah, I would say explorer is just equally as much of a mastermind energy though.
Yeah, that's what's so fascinating. The and the fact that again, this is one of the characters, okay, and the tornado is listed as a place.
Mhm. Mhm.
Is there any and the fairy is a character and guts. Let's see, is that a tool? It's a tool.
Yeah, it's a tool.
So it's an that's interesting. So there's these little things that if we just note on the other side of the deck as well, you get more and more. I like this one a lot. And the thing is, I really like the butts. That the butts have a certain funniness. They are so comical to me. They're so sweet. Like this little cherub. So baby angel, is there any character that this was? Or
N I
for
was so it was a cartoon I used to draw. So after I left New York, I
Mhm.
spent 3 or 4 months in Los Angeles, the city of angels,
Oh, yes.
and I just started drawing that baby angel everywhere. I don't know where it came from, and, like, I haven't really tapped into, like, I should tap into the mediumship of the card, like connecting
Mm,
to baby spirits, child spirits.
yes.
Um,
That purity, the sweetness.
yeah, but I read it very similarly to fairy as like an incoming blessing, an incoming miracle. Like usually baby angel is an omen that the universe wants to like shuffle something really great into your life.
A little gift, a little
A little,
magical gift.
yeah, that's usually how I read the card.
And I also love this, of course, because we have whales out here, but a majestic
Yes.
whale.
I
There's
have
gotta be a story.
there is a story and it's really it came at a point where I was like, wow, the deck of characters is a pretty powerful object. So
Yes.
there's a card in the deck of character watchdog
Mhm.
that's based off of a Rottweiler I had, Dominic.
Aw.
And Dom passed away of old age in 2019,
Oh, yeah.
and that's when the deck of character was already out and people had decks, and the Majestic Whale was already a card in the deck. And I bought a van and drove from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Oh, wow.
And I asked you if that was Baker Beach because I had done a road trip with Dom. He was from New York City and he was from a really rough background. Like he was almost killed for being a
Oh.
Rottweiler, but
Oh
he was
my god.
saved. Yeah, and then I adopted him, and I when I adopted him, I was yeah, my comedy career was ending, and I drew the deck of character, and I was like, I want to show this dog the world.
I love it.
So I drove Dom across country, and the first time he saw the Pacific Ocean was at Baker Beach on the spring equinox.
Oh my god, that's magical.
Yeah,
I know where the beach is. So,
okay. It's like
yes.
you can see the Golden Gate Bridge from it.
Yes, it is beautiful. It is a
And
wonderful beach.
when Dom passed, I had his ashes, and I decided to like trace our steps from our road trip on the same exact days. So I went to Baker Beach on the spring equinox with his ashes, and I thought I was going to sprinkle his ashes in multiple places, but like a giant wave came and kind of told me like, no, throw all his ashes into the ocean at Baker Beach. And I knew he loved the ocean. I felt like Dom and I were pretty psychic with each other. So I was like, okay, and I threw all the ashes into the ocean. Oh, and by the way, like a lot of people were pulling Majestic Whale the whole time I was driving across country.
So that
And
big, awesome energy.
I threw the ashes into the ocean, and then like 5 minutes later, a whale popped out like so close to shore.
Oh my god! I always love it when
Mhm.
I get to see their spout, you know? That is so cool, and that definitely your doggy gave you a sign.
I
Oh
think
my
so.
god.
I got chills. I think so. He was such a magical creature.
I would be
Mhm.
verklempt, I really would. I'd be like, "Ah,"
Yeah.
like this, like tears.
Oh. Mhm.
That's a good one. But
Mhm.
what about this one, Ghost? So
Ghost. Like a whole thing where I kept pulling ghosts the last few weeks,
no
and
kidding.
I was ghosted by former lovers.
That
I was
stinks.
haunted by my past. I was
Ah,
facing like all my deepest fears of like rejection
I've been doing
and
that too, and in my sleep.
I just kept pulling the ghost card, and I was like, "Oh my god, when's this chapter gonna end? Like, how much do I need to learn from ghost right now?" And I was getting really into mediumship. That's kind of the thing I'm studying now that the deck
Same.
has been out for almost 5 years, and I'm like, "Okay, it's time to, like,
To
really
really
understand what mediumship is all about."
and so, I'm very interested as well. I've been visited usually it's, nothing that I can summon, and they visit me,
Mhm.
and, I of course, like you said, to get premonitions or I'll have dreams, I'm shown stuff. I'm just kind of like a witness, I feel like.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. You can't really control it, you just have to be the conduit,
Yep,
and there's no controlling what comes through or how or why or, the way it's presented, you just kind of have to be very open to it.
very true. Because if you start up doing that, as you said, it blocks. So I think that we're being kind of we're getting a good brushing out. Our vessels are getting a good brushing out, so we can take something really fabulous that I know from another dream that is coming from a lot of the work, the shadow work that we're all doing right now. A lot of us, and if you're not doing it, you should be, because
Or you'll be forced to.
you're not going to enjoy it. It's not ever any fun, but it's part of kind of a global, I think, thing that's going on. So that's so interesting. Now with the mediumship, I wanted you to go ahead and share with us about your experience with that and your
Um,
sensitivity, if you want to.
um, I just kind of, like, taken baby step after baby step the last 5 years. Like I said, the first time I started channeling unknowingly was through journaling. Oh, and cartoon drawing, which just came out of nowhere, like, I stepped up to a blank page and a very psychic cartoon drawing came to me
Oh,
that I
wow.
think is, what my soulmate looks like and or what our children will be and, how many children we'll have, and what, like, I need to conquer in my mind,
Hmm.
like, my biggest block to achieve this reality came to me all in the form of cartoons.
Wow.
Um, and then I did this intuitive training with, a group of people in Brooklyn that used mind mapping
Oh.
to that was kind of like I would say it kinda used shamanism, like, my mind would be a blank screen and I would see symbols and pictures, and through muscle testing, I could tell what needed to be spoken or not.
Ooh, this is
Um
fascinating. I want to learn more about that.
Yeah, that was called Universal Health Principles. I don't think anyone's teaching it anymore. The group kinda dissipated after a couple years, but
Hmm.
I'm really grateful I learned the skill.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
And, um, then I started playing the deck of character and really researching and studying it and taking it really seriously, but I was such a novice to oracle cards that it took me years to really begin understanding how to communicate and channel through them.
Yes,
Um,
I've
and
used
like I
them for that.
said, you can use the deck of character in really small ways to start channeling, and it just builds from there over time,
Right.
which is why it's such a cool object. It's just so accessible to access your truth through
It
because the
is.
symbols are like very everyday and just the nature of it is as playing cards, it's just so easy to use.
Just like, yeah, they are. I mean, there's just, like I said, for me, it's like I just feel like it's a springboard, and the next thing I know, something else is coming, and there's a flow.
There's a such a flow, yeah, and, over the years, I've met many psychics and mediums, and they all have different gifts, and some of the gifts, like, rubbed off on me just by observing them and how they do it, and seeing like, "Oh, I can stretch my brain in that direction, and I can, channel past lives." Oh, yeah, I got trained in, the Akashic Records too, just online.
Oh, wow, I would like to do that.
Oh, it's so helpful and really straightforward.
If you, can later, like, send any links to any of these things that you would recommend, I will happily share them in my, community tab with the everyone else too.
Yeah, I'll try to find it. It was in 2017, I think I did that, or 2018. And then what else was big on my journey? Reading books, like, I love, Women Who Run with the
Oh,
Wolves.
that's a great one. I like that one too.
Yeah, just, like, all about putting your intuition back together after it's been, like, broken or lost.
Oh my god. Yes, yes.
It's everybody's journey,
It
and, I love Paramahansa Yogananda,
Yes.
Autobiography of a Yogi, very
Yes.
California.
Yes, I have read that. Oh my god, it's so fun to meet
Um,
someone else that is oh my goodness. I'm
oh,
yeah,
yeah, Yogananda just has so many insights of like what is saintly and what
yeah.
how to live your journey of truth with God or goddess or the universe, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, it's so it's so accessible. It really, um help and gave me direction as well. I know when I read it, I got a lot out of it, and I found when I was reading that it's been a while though. It's been a while. It was back in the 90s, maybe
Wow.
yeah, back in the 90s when my kids were little. But that that's interesting. I like his you know, as you said, like his books and stuff as well. That very much would recommend that as well. What was the one that you were talking about that you said that it was a small one on just channeling so that I forgot the name of it.
It's called Channeling, What It Is and How to Do It. Very simple name, by Lita de Alberti, Alberdi.
Cool. Because that
Yeah,
is
it's very, very simple, very small, and, it's like classic channeling spirits, but only the highest spirits for your
yeah,
greatest good. It's not about meddling with dangerous things or things that might hurt you or
just for
get you,
silliness.
unprotected.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. People need to realize that there are things, like I said, that are not so nice out there. And you got to be careful. It's just like here. You don't just go open your door and allow anybody to wander in, you know. That's very true. One of the things that I picked up, this is a lens, and I've got a where's my little cloth? Set it aside. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's for scrying, and it's something that I've always been attracted to do, but I started using it the other night, and I found it very useful to get me to that relaxed, focused state where you can
Oh.
see. And
Ooh.
so it's got depth, and you can, I don't know if you guys can feel it, but I set that down for, I was just like, "Vroom." My energy went into it. So this is something that I'm doing as well, just as you were
Oh,
saying,
cool.
to channel and to be able to kind of open that eye and see more clearly. Although I'm telling you, I do fall asleep a lot too. So I've got to stop and be more focused. But it just reminded me of what you were saying in that area of when you were talking about channeling and seeing things with the mapping that you were talking about, I think.
Yeah, I just, watched the Netflix series Life After Death with Tyler Henry. Have you watched it yet?
Not yet.
Oh, it's fabulous. Tyler Henry is, like, beyond
Oh, I
gifted
know.
psychic from,
Yes.
I think around Los Angeles.
Yeah, he's a very sweet young guy. Yeah.
Mhm, and, oh, he did a it reminds me of your lens. He did something in an episode where he built a dark box and he had a
Oh,
mirror on an angle and you stare into the mirror, but you can't see your reflection. And then you like let whatever wants to come through.
that was started in the 70s, believe it or not. And
Wow.
God, I wish I could remember the name of there was a married couple that came up with that idea. And it was to be able to communicate with those that had passed on. Um, I'm going to be like, I got to remember, and I'll get that to you because it was just very interesting as well. But it was the same kind of a construction of where you're kind of, your senses are directed and kind of limited, but opened up. And a lot of people were doing that. So he was doing that. That's very interesting. I had no idea he was getting on and doing that now.
Yeah, it's a really great Netflix show. He also paints and he channels by scribbling in a sketchbook.
Yeah, I've
It's
seen him
like
do that.
line drawings.
And I
It's really
totally get it.
fascinating.
I can totally get why people do that, because for me, again, the process, it helps me just to pull something through or something. I don't know. And I have to have a certain kind of pen. I get very, and a certain kind of surface.
Yeah, no, I have, 2 types of markers that I will only channel with, and
Oh,
1 pen that I will only write with.
what are they? I'm just
Here, 1
curious.
second, let me grab them.
Got mine. I think mine are just pilot pens.
Yeah, I think mine's a Pilot pen too.
Because I can buy the gel, different colored ink inserts, and you can get fine line, or I've got a couple of them.
My main marker, I don't see it out right, like, immediately in my vicinity, but, oh yeah, this Pilot G210, I will only do it with the number 10.
Ah, yes. I've seen that baby.
It's, like, nice and bold. Yeah, this is the only thing I'll write with. And then this marker I just started channeling with, it's the Oh Oh Hoo Hoo. There we go.
Oh,
Oh Hoo Hoo art
art
marker.
marker. Cool. I'm surrounded by art markers right now.
And I only use this side. It's a dual brush, but I only use this side with like a circular tip.
Ooh.
And then the main marker I use, and I've told my fans this for years, is the Tombow dual brush marker, black,
Oh, good to
and
know.
it's the only marker I drew all these lines with the deck of character with.
Yeah,
A
I was
Tombow dual brush marker.
a Tombow dual brush marker. I will definitely get one of those. Um, I was going to ask you, did this just kind of fly by, or did you have to redraw a couple of them from time to time, or how did
Um,
that
I
go?
I probably drew so the prototype was just very stream of consciousness, only one version on the back of cut up index cards. And I did that with pen. It was before I like honed in my skill and my craft of channeling.
Mhm.
And then a year later, when I sat down, I was like, okay, this is seriously going to be a deck. I don't know how I discovered the Tombow dual brush marker,
You
but
were
I
led
took
to it.
that yeah, I took that marker and I drew probably on average 6 versions of each card, and I came up with, like, 300 symbols, and then I love numerology, it's one of
Me
my favorite
too.
aspects of divination, and I was like,
Hmm.
"Okay, here's, like, 300 ideas," but what's I realized that's, like that would be a stack like this big,
Yeah, a
like
little
way too
unwieldy.
big. Yeah. So I was like, "Okay, what's the final number gonna be?" And it was a little unnerving because 'cause I'm like, "I don't know what it's gonna be." And I wrote out all the possibilities and I started crossing off ones that I could edit out. And I was getting around 27 characters, 37 places, and 47 tools. And I liked how it was like kind of getting to 777. And then I
Mhm.
realized 27 plus 37 plus 47 is 111.
Uh-huh, the
And it,
magical 11.
yeah, and like 111 is like there's 3 categories.
Oh, of
Um,
course.
And 111 is like creativity and individuality and celebrating your self-expression.
Yeah,
So,
dynamic energy, just
yeah, which is all what the deck of characters stands for, so I'm really proud of it.
you should be. I mean, this deck is, also, like I said, been very useful, in using it for, like I said, true crime tarot, because I've always a mystery, and I get a bit obsessive. It's like I want to know, and especially I've got a very, uh, injustice really bothers me, to say the least. So if I feel like somebody's gotten a raw deal, um, this deck has been good in that respect too. Just
Oh,
really,
amazing.
yeah. And that's something I do on Thursdays. Um,
Mm.
but other than like read on myself and for other people, That's one of the things that I really like to do. I don't think that it's necessarily going to find anyone, but I just think that somehow it gives that person some consideration, that somebody thought of them and cared, and I do think it kind of loosens things up in some way, because I always see more activity often after I've been like, gee, I wonder about, and it's always comes to me, and it's not something, I'm kind of an open book to them. And I just let them direct me. It's like, why do I want to look at this? And it's like, they're like, don't ask, just do it, just get to it. And these have been very, very helpful. Just
Amazing.
to,
Oh, that
to
makes me
get me
so
through that.
happy.
Yes. And I want to ask about vomit as a tool.
I pulled that today and I was like, "Why?"
Yeah.
I think it's like it usually is a call to cleanse or detoxify,
Something doesn't
your
agree with you.
system. Yeah, something's not right, like, maybe you're not being kind to yourself or healthy to yourself. There might be, like, disease in your presence. Um,
Oh, that's a good one. Like maybe you got a little bug, or you might need to go see a doctor.
mhm.
Pay attention. Pay attention. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a random side note, but I love when vomit's pulled with moon because it looks like the moon is melting.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to pull up moon, let me see.
I just saw it in my deck here. I also love club. I just like the way the people are dancing.
Yeah, I like the club card.
I get there's a band called the Electric Six, and I just get their music playing in my head every time I see that. Oh, I know why. Because it's there's a certain song about going to a club. Let's see. Did you find them?
Yeah, I found it. Moon and vomit. They're like the same thing, but just
One looks.
melted.
It does. It just like.
Which I get I pull these together quite often, and it's like, listen to your intuition and stop blocking yourself or something.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
can.
here's the club card.
Yes, I love that one.
Yeah, I read club as like it can mean like literally partnership since there's two people on the card. Or
Yeah.
like, yeah, just enjoy yourself, have fun, move your body. Um, Club might mean like social circles or even like social hierarchy. Um, yeah, those are usually my go-tos for this card.
I just love it. I just the character, you can feel so much awful, didn't mean to say that, off of the work. Like I can feel the energy in the drawing. It's really conveys. So you're very gifted that way. I also love Naked Man. Um,
Oh, yeah.
that one just
Yep.
cracks me up. I pulled that, and my mom was sitting here, and she was like, "What?" And she just started laughing, and I said,
Oh, good.
"Yeah, if you guys have." And it's funny. I also like the compass. The one thing that I wanted to do was to add the other directions just for my deck of like, and especially with missing people, but or crime. But I really like the idea. That was, it's given me ideas, and it's definitely inspired me. And
Mm,
of course, your inner compass. See, I'm trying to find that one. Of course, rock is good. That's always a good basic one.
yeah, it's just a little circle.
Yeah. But it's so powerful. It's like, you'll get through this. Or, somebody is your rock. There's a friend of mine that's in spirit, and their name basically means a rock. So
Oh,
it's,
wow.
yeah, so it's little things like this that's like, oh wow. So when I'm using this deck, they kind of let me know, hey, it's me. It's funny. And of course, you've got gun. So
Mhm.
I will be using this deck to look at gun violence in this, unfortunate situation that we have in this
Yeah.
country.
Mhm.
But let's see, I wanted to get to spatula. Flipping things, I suppose.
Yeah, I usually read it as, like, quite simply flipping your perspective, like, it's time to look at things, like, upside down or in a new light.
Like a hangman, like the hangman.
That's nice. That's a really good yeah,
Yeah.
another good insight. I've
Yeah.
never thought of that.
And I also like the wrestling ring.
Yeah, I think it's such a cool card for an oracle because it's, like, about going back and forth. It's a little bit like Tamed Man, but, a little
Mhm.
more active, like, you have to jump in the ring and, like, duke it out and figure it out, but by its nature is, like, going back and forth to
Y
figure it out.
yeah, and night. So that's really, really neat. I mean, there's just so much. And there's the angsty teen is funny.
Yeah, that's usually when people fall in love with the deck of character when they pull the angsty teen or, like, the angsty teen for their boyfriend, and they
Or
just
drunken sailor is really funny. This one
yeah.
gets me every every time. It's just perfect. There's I can almost hear it. So you were saying, okay, and we've got Wild Woman again with the cute little butt. I just
Mm,
love that. So this is a woman that's reclaimed her truth and
yes, yeah,
power.
and directly inspired by Women Who Run with the Wolves, all about the archetype of the wild woman.
I
Oh,
thought
wait, no, I drew that before I read the book, before I knew that it was an archetype, and,
you were there already.
yeah, it was one of the last cards to come into the anthology. I was like, "What's missing?" And, like, a voice was like, "Wild woman," and I'm like, "Okay, wild woman." And I'm like, "Wait, that's already a thing?" Yeah,
That's
that's the story of the wild woman.
that's really cool. And of course,
Mhm.
I love the graveyard.
Yeah, the graveyard walks hand in hand with Grim Reaper. Um, it's, like, just the end of a chapter. There's a little ode to the paradigm of Pisces with the cross on the, like, cement,
Right there.
um
The tombstone.
tomb yeah, the tombstone, thank you.
Yeah.
And the moon is above the cross because it's like the divine feminine reigns supreme
Yes.
over, like, the old patriarchy.
I noticed that so there's a lot of power that people probably didn't realize that this shift, as we're talking about, going to a more peaceful and not so violent way of living on this planet. Whether they
Yes,
know it or not, they're going to be pulled kicking and screaming into it, and I think that's what's happening right now. So that's
I agree.
very insightful of you. It's interesting to I would not have known that had you not pointed that out. So that just, just dials in more and more meaning. Um, I love Love Potion because I love hearts and everything like that. That
Oh,
is so
I
sweet.
know, and it's actually a really I pay attention to the statistics of the cards too, like how frequently they get pulled,
Ah,
and Love
yes.
Potion's quite rare.
Really?
Yeah, it saddens me a little bit. Broken Heart
Yeah.
is way more common than Love Potion.
Dang. That is sad. That is sad. That is sad. That makes me sad. And the other one I like is Cave because I'm an introvert. So that's like, yeah, that looks like a good place to go.
I
Yeah.
love Cave too. I like Cave way more than Circus.
Yeah, me too. It's like, yeah, let's slow things down. And I like the moon and the stars because that's one of the things that this with the skylights, I love that I can see sometimes the moon will come right and be like right in the skylight. And it's like,
Mm,
hello. And
mm,
I've always loved that. And when I was a kid and we were driving at night, and if we were taking a trip or something, I would do the same thing of where you're saying you're looking out the window, and I would look out the window at the stars, and that was just a very pleasant memory of being traveling. And I do the same thing. I really love them. Dumpster is a good one.
yep, I lived in a warehouse in Los Angeles, and that's just directly a point to that time because there was a huge dumpster outside our warehouse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's quite simple, that's what it's from.
And it makes sense. Putting trash where it belongs. Get that out of your life. And
Yeah.
flower, this blossoming flower is wonderful.
Yep. Blossoming. That's just exactly what it means. Time to blossom and take your true shape.
That's the thing. See, I was just been trying to convey that more recently, is that this part of us is just a facet of the entirety of what and who we are. This is just a little tiny, tiny, facet, and that we're so much more. And if people would realize how powerful we really are, and I, you know, we're all working at least toward that, toward reclaiming our power and making decisions for ourselves, and trusting that we have, some discernment. I'm just looking for Naked Man. Egg is good. I've always liked the egg because it's full of possibilities.
Mm,
It's
yeah. It's a creative card.
super. And again, with women and fertility, I feel
Mhm,
like there's
mhm,
the connection again with women in power. And
mhm.
so you've got Wizard, the
Yep.
Wizard.
And some people have asked me, like, why isn't there witch if there's wizard? But I'm like, witches are reincarnating in North America right now. Like, there's witches all around us.
Hello. Yeah. Hello.
So I don't know. I thought wizard was more of a. Oh, here's Naked Man.
Did you get
I
him? I just like his back because I've seen so many dudes like that have a hairy back, He's a My mom just cracked up laughing because we've known folks in the family that are hairy,
Mhm.
the men in the family are kind of hairy. It is so
Oh,
cute as well. And I
yeah,
also,
I love the Naked Man card. It has a special place in my heart.
can you tell us about, is this part of the character that you knew, or
Um,
how was he created?
I didn't know anyone who looked like the Naked Man card, but then I met someone who really reminded me of the Naked Man
Oh,
card, and he just will always have a special place in my heart, and every time someone pulls that card or I look at that card, I think of him.
like, hey, hey.
Mhm, mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool. That's really cool. That's interesting. I keep pulling now. This one I have been pulling more recently. Waterfall. It just keeps coming to me. Waterfall. Waterfall.
It's a good sign.
Yeah.
Usually means abundance, powerful reset. Yeah, just, like, completely refreshing energy.
Hmm.
But yeah,
And
it's
that
a water card, so that's like finances, emotions, spirit, just like coming to you abundantly.
and it has been. It has been. I have to say, it really has been. It's like, if anything, I just need a bit more time to digest gut. You know. Uh, and think about it. And I also like knife for severing, the old,
Yes, exactly. Mhm.
and realizing that you have the power to again make change that you can create a healthier life. I think in variety of ways that we don't even think of. And cauldron reminded me, just today, reminded me of the Celtic cauldron of rebirth.
Ooh, I've never heard that. I love that.
I'd forgotten all about it. I had read a lot of books, for I've got Latvian, which is Eastern European, and some Scottish, Irish, and so on my dad's side. So I've been reading for, about my ancestry, and this one just came up out of the blue. Because I've always been fascinated by the cauldron of rebirth. And it would show little figures going up into the cauldron, and they're going to go back into the universe. So,
Ooh, wow. Oh my
um,
gosh.
yeah. And it just like, wow, I forgot all about that book. And it's like, how it happens. And you're just like, okay, thanks. That was the other thing that alchemy, the temperance.
Mhm. Wow, you're good.
It's just, I just found this the cauldron though too. I mean, that's just like anything that you create, your creation, you know. It's the
Mhm.
chili that I'm going to eat later that I hope it will not destroy me. My husband's made. And I really like spectacles, the glasses here.
Wow, I haven't seen glasses in so long. Yeah, because I don't look through the deck anymore, I just play, and I have not seen glasses.
So it's
I
so
don't
it's
know,
like,
it could be a year since I've seen
boom.
glasses. Very rare card.
I'm looking for mine currently. I'm wearing an old pair.
No.
I think it's gone under the bed on the other side. I'll have to have my husband get it.
I guess I
Um,
haven't seen clearly in quite a long time.
maybe you don't. Some of this is, kind of hard to look at. And I also like the unicorn and the crystal as well.
Yeah, 2 magical cards.
There's a lot of magic in this. A lot of
Mhm.
like shamanic type of energy. The swamp is also one that stands out to me, the eyes that are looking at you.
Yeah, it's fairly common. It's usually like worrying about what other people think and getting caught in the weeds, but it's part of the journey. Like, there's always part of the journey where you have to get through the mud and
Yeah,
just like toughen up and like get stuck and find your way out and like realize why you're stuck, which is so often like worrying about what other people think
it
and like
is.
societal pressures.
Ugh.
So
I,
that's the wisdom of the swamp card.
kind of the lotus up from the mud.
Exactly. Yep, Lotus is born in the mud.
That's interesting. And there's the other one that's I love camouflage because I think that it's so handy. People trying to be sometimes shady or people trying to hide things. I mean, things that you don't even realize that you're hiding about
Mhm.
yourself, maybe that you
Mhm.
need to show people. That's been my biggest thing. It's like you're supposed to let your light shine, and it's kind of like no. But having this channel is part of that. So, do you have something where people can uh, contact you, where you're doing things more actively online for things, or is that more of a private thing that you do?
Do you mean sessions?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, oracle sessions with the deck of character. It's separate from the deck of character. It's on a website called The House of Mama,
Ah, no, I didn't see it.
thehouseofmama.com. Mhm.
Okay, we'll have to look
Yeah,
at
it's, kind of the sister website, and I do keep it more on the down low because
it.
I don't know, just when people find out word of mouth, I like that way of discovery.
Me too.
So it's like you either know about the House of Mama or you don't, but,
Mhm.
yeah, if you're interested, check it out. I do Zoom readings that are 20 minutes, 40 minutes, or an hour, and
Mhm.
I do, just for $11, if you have a question, you can submit a question, and I pull 3 cards and a bottom of the deck card, and I
Yeah.
interpret your question through writing.
That is very economical.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's fun.
I might, you might see me in there.
Yay.
Because the readers never, it's like, I never get a chance to really read on myself as deeply as I'm like wanting to, because it takes me a while. It does. It takes me a while to absorb things. And like a lot of times, I think most of us, you might be in the shower when you something kind of like eureka, you know?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I usually have to play many rounds of the deck of character and see how many cards I keep pulling to really get a new insight into myself. It's so hard to look in the mirror and see what the divine's trying to tell you.
Yes. And most of it is for me is arguing with myself or with the divine. It's like, stop it. They're trying to talk to you. You're just being a pain in the ass. Just accept it, just accept. And, because there's a part of me that's definitely like, well, you have to use discernment. You can't just, uh, yeah. So here's the love goddess. We just love her.
Yay!
Mm,
Yes!
with her little lady garden flower.
Love Goddess is perfect. I love the Love Goddess card.
I do too. She's so Aphrodite to me.
Mm, mhm.
Definitely like a definitely that. And of course, this is one I'd like to find more come up, but I don't get that one very often.
I know it's a pretty rare card, but I love the message when Lounge Chair does show up. It's like, chill. You don't need to do anything right now. Like, just wait for the picture to come together. Wait for karma to play out.
That's right. Don't be
Mhm.
don't ruin the soup by mixing too much other stuff in it. You gotta let it meld.
Mhm.
Let, you know, or let the painting, because I paint as well, let it, and I like oils. And the one bad
Mm.
habit I will have is I'll muddy the frickin' color because I won't
Oh.
want to wait. You know, you have to wait, you know, and to allow it to dry enough. So, you know, I, yeah. I can get how that's coming in. That would be for me. Don't mess it up. So many paintings like that. And so you've got gold coin, so you know the world of money. I think it's pretty
Yeah, I
obvious.
also read it as, like, your steps to success, like the illuminated,
Ah,
like, stepping stones that you need to, like, find your worth and value.
yes,
So, like, beyond money, sometimes that's how I read it. It's like your journey to self-worth.
I get that. Your
Mhm.
earthly, yes. I think it like pentacles, like the 8 of Pentacles. When
Ooh,
when you're
wow.
when you're building that skill, you know, because usually it's the earthly realm, Pentacles, and that just struck me as such. And oh, I love this one. I know, but I love this one. Yeah,
Speak your truth. Speak it loud and proud.
there you go.
Yeah.
And also sometimes, yeah. So sometimes some people need some yeah.
Let me get this. I'm about to put in everybody's deck of character packages this saying,
Oh yes.
life is learning to speak what your heart already knows.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I think that's the deck of character in a nutshell. Like, usually you see the cards and you're like, I know what they mean in my mind or my heart, but like I can't say it yet. And it's learning to speak that truth.
And
Yeah, I
sometimes
think it comes from the heart, not the mind.
I do too, because if it was from the mind, I think we would have it more clearly. And it kind of has to come up. I feel like for me anyway, it kind of has to emerge out of this abyss it,
Mm, like the
within.
whale in the ocean.
Yes. Yeah. This majestic, awesome, like to me, I would expect to hear that the piano, dun-dun, you know? And I just pulled Watchdog. So
Oh,
there's your,
Dom's here.
yeah. Hey, it's so cute. And I like the little heart on the butt.
That was real. He just had a patch of fur that looked like a heart on his butt.
That is so interesting. I had a cat, a calico cat that lived to 21 years, and
Wow.
she had a little black heart on her backside as well. And so when I
Oh.
saw this, I wondered, and I thought, I remember Jewel, that was her name. She had that.
Oh.
Yeah, she's she was a baby. Love that. And Heaven. So this came for recently up for me for someone that had passed. And that was,
Really?
yeah, it was actually a relief. I could feel the relief of the energy of like how heavy our bodies are, and the life, the energy of this world, the lessons that we learn. And this person just felt like so radiant, so light. So that
Mm.
was interesting because I get a variety of and I love universe, of course, ocean, but universe, I don't know. I like all the lines, and I like the circles within a circle.
Mm.
I guess it's
Mm.
the micro and the macrocosm, the
Mhm.
little world and the big world all in one.
Mhm. Mhm. Thank you. Yeah, that's spot on.
So are you going to be doing any more decks for like mediumship that are more for, are you thinking on that?
Yeah, I have about an anthology of what will be 4 decks.
Oh,
The deck of character in itself will have a few additions down the road. It's gonna take like a decade to realize all of this, maybe 20 years.
mm-hmm.
But beyond the deck of character, I have 4 other deck ideas.
Oh, that is so
Um,
cool. I will
and
buy every one.
oh, thank you. I think I'll start a YouTube next year
I
where
was
I'll
going to
just read
say,
cards
you
and start
should.
introducing these other decks. I have one prototyped and then 2 others loosely drawn out. But yeah, that's the story. That it's gonna be I think 222 cards or something like that,
Cool.
or
Oh,
166 or something like that.
well, I'll be buying it. I will for sure.
Oh,
I
thank you. Yeah.
And if you guys want to ask some personal questions, we can read on them. Um, Hannah did agree that she would be willing to do that. So if you've stuck around this long, you've got about half of an hour, and then we end this unless Hannah's tired and needs to go. I usually close this out about 2 hours, and
Okay, perfect.
we're at an hour and 35 minutes. So if you have a question, now's your time. Put it in all caps, put emojis around it so that it stands out. And even if you just want us to draw a card for you, you know, that's fine. Just make sure you guys ask. So I'm going to give you guys a minute, and I'm going to take the sweatshirt off because my body's going to play the hot and cold game right now. Hold on a second. I'm scared to close down my window because I'm afraid my computer will crash or something. So it's like, I'm going to do this very quickly. Okay, so let's see. Anybody got any questions? Okay, Teresa Levine, can I have a card? All right.
Teresa Levine. Do you want to pull the card or do you want me to pull the card?
We will both pull a card, and I'll let
Okay.
you go first. And shuffle as
Okay.
long as you need to.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start taking down people's. Here we goes. You can star the questions. This is another feature of this yard stream that's really helpful.
Oh, wow.
They've really improved it. So I'm taking your questions. We got 3 so far. Got to put my deck right. It's all back to front.
Okay, your first card. Oh my gosh, yay, we didn't see this last time when we talked about it. Rock. Yeah, I hear you're in a solid place in life right now. I hear encouragement from the universe to rock on, like just keep going, keep believing in yourself, keep approaching your dreams. Like I had a weird year this last year where I felt like I abandoned my dreams and I worked a day job to like just accumulate some like solid income to support the deck of character, but I didn't get to like start my YouTube channel and do some other side projects I wanted to. So I
Yeah.
don't know if you can relate to that allegory, but you're in a rock solid place. Rock on is the main takeaways from this.
I love that. And we'll see what she says. So, Teresa, if you want to give us any feedback, I'm getting the self card.
Oh my gosh, those are so complimentary. Rock and the self.
Yeah. And it's to realize, I feel like also your own strength. The hand is over the heart. And
Mm-hmm.
to me, with that eye open, it's again talking about a greater awareness, and of course of the self. So, Teresa, this would be definitely again complementary to Hannah's message about strength, inner
Mm-hmm.
strength.
Yeah, I would say, like, how basic and fundamental these 2 cards are, just confirmation that you're in a really solid place in life, like, you're not trying to prove yourself to anybody, you're not trying to, like, be someone you're not. I love how the Self card is dressed fairly plainly, so it's like there's nowhere to go, nothing to prove, but, like, you're just being yourself completely right now, and to really hold on to that solidness.
Yeah, she said, "Yes, I did give up on dreams."
Oh,
Well, I think it's within it's burning within. I feel like it's still in there and you have the strength maybe to pursue them that you may not
yeah.
realize.
There's always times to rest and times to take action, and you might be approaching a new time to, like, reinstate your dreams, like, get back at it. I just did the I Ching for myself the other day, and it was
Ooh,
saying how you have to set a really solid foundation to approach your dreams
yes.
the right way, and you might have just been, like, having a year where you get back to your foundation by not seeking out other things or other forms of validation.
Yep.
So, to find that, like, rock bottom or that rock solid is a huge gift sometimes. Oh, wow!
That's
That's
how
all
I
just
dress.
plain old jeans. Amazing.
It's funny, and you know what? So I think that don't give up. You've got more strength than you realize, and tap into that. And I think it's actually really important for you um, to follow your dreams. So yes, cutting cords. It's always boundaries. It's always going to be boundaries. That's my thing. It's like I want to make everybody comfortable. Um, and you can't always do that.
Mm.
Sometimes then you get lost. Okay. Let's see who else. Who else? You guys, we have Joe G. Okay. Let's see. This is J O, Joe G. Hello, Joe G.
Joji,
Yes, she's wonderful.
do you wanna go first this time?
No, you go right ahead.
Okay,
I'm always going to be a little bit behind because I'm trying to. I'm looking at the chat and trying to make sure I
okay.
get questions. So I'm always a little slower, but you pounce right ahead.
Treadmill.
Oh boy.
So this is a card that usually is a call to focus on yourself right now. I see it as, like, cycling through karma, so just, like, keep taking actions for yourself, like, keep focusing on yourself and your goals. It's a little similar to rock, where it's like, find your core and stick to it, but treadmill is usually, like, you're in a place of, like, working towards something, so just keep cycling through that process of, like, moving towards your dreams.
Hmm. She's saying, "Good to see you,
Yeah,
Maya and Hannah." Okay.
definitely focus on yourself right now. You don't need to, do anything big or elaborate right now. It's like, think small and just, like, really take good care of yourself right now.
Yeah. Just see what I get. I'm gonna shuffle this again because my cards are a little bit skewed. Joji, Joji. Let's see what I get. I'm getting elves.
Oh, wow, similar, another complementary pair.
So there's all those little steps that you were and you were saying that kind of like spirit coming in and helping you to find different things. I feel like it's an energy that's around her that's there for her for a variety of I'm getting like creativity, I'm getting just this energy that's there for her to pull through. It's almost like
Mm,
channeling. Um but that there's definitely make use of, I feel like spiritual energy. And now I got to pull another one, magnet. So that's interesting.
Oh,
She's
wow.
really attracting that. I feel like you're definitely attracting some spiritual helpers.
Yeah, that could very much be true. And I see elves often as like the skills and lessons you need to learn to cycle through your karma and like build what you want to build. So
So
I would say like, yeah, just like you're kind of like Snow White with all these elves around you, and you're just like building your dreams right now. Like you just got lost in the woods and you stumbled upon this house of elves, and it's like, okay, time to build my reality. Like who am I? What is my life all about? Like what do I want to attract next? What are
mhm.
my dreams made out of? This is what you're finding for yourself right now.
Yeah, and I suppose it would be attracting lessons, attracting what you need, whatever it is that, as you were saying, focusing on yourself and what is it that I need. I feel like these are almost like whispers that,
Mm.
it just got that. It's like, hey, you need a little bit. Yeah. So I feel like it's being still, that idea about being still, but being like moving at the same time with that treadmill. Because that's what we do when we're kind of when we channel. She says,
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow, that's wise. I like how that just tied everything together.
"Thank you." It just, I oftentimes I will not remember what I've read because I release it. It's not for me. It's not for me to hold on to. So and I know a lot of other readers do too. It's like, that reading you did for me. It's like, I know I did a reading for you, but I really don't remember what I said.
Yeah, I'm starting to get self-conscious because it's getting to the point where I can't remember everybody's faces, like all the deck of character fans and everybody I've given readings to. Like
That's
I
normal. It's
yeah,
I know
it's
it.
but it can be embarrassing because 'cause I'm like, "I wanna remember you," and usually when I start channeling, I the whole conversation comes back to me, but it's like I do get self-conscious because 'cause I'm like, "I just so desperately wanna remember every aspect of this."
Same. I feel the same, and it's definitely a similar feeling. I've got your question, Isadora. I've got it marked. And Joe G says, nice. I'm incubating new strategies to move forward with my dreams and goals, staying good manifestation mode. Thank you, Black.
Yes!
Yes, we nailed
I
that one.
yeah, I think those cards said just that,
Yep.
but that was a good way to put it, Joji.
I'm glad. You know what? You're moving on up. That's good.
Moving
Yep.
on up.
I heard that too. I used to watch that show. Um, let's see, who else do we have here? Okay. All right. I don't know if you want to do this one, but I'm willing to. Robin A. Will my kitty Sophie make it through the night? That
Aw.
reminds me of my jewel, and I had a hard time. I put off calling somebody in I should not have. So if there's a vet that can visit, that can do what they need to do, make sure that you have that person on standby. That's what I did. I was fortunate that I found someone through my vet that would come to my house, so I didn't have to put my poor dying cat. And I hope that you can manage also to have such
Oh, that's pretty stuff.
relief.
Oh. Well, on my end, you got Meadow. I was about to think that it was gonna be Heaven, and Meadow is quite similar. Meadow, to me, my go-to interpretation is happy place. So just know, like, wherever Sophie is headed spiritually, it's just completely happy and blissful. I think that's the main message coming through, like, not to worry, um, how Sophie is and if Sophie's doing well, or will Sophie make it through the night, or where's Sophie going after Sophie passes. the sun is out, like the sun is shining. It's only good, positive things in Sophie's destiny. And let that be reassurance for what's in store for Sophie's journey.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's really complimentary to what I'm getting. I can't believe we can read well together. I get the unicorn and the airplane. She's just going on a little
oh,
trip. She's just
this
going on a
looks
little
like a
trip.
picture. Yeah, it looks like a picture, like a
Mhm.
magical journey to her happy place.
Oh my God, it does. If we just and it is. That's because I get it's like, don't worry. And also you'll see her again. To think of it more like it's just some temporary vacation, so to speak. They're just going to a place and you'll be going there to join them yourself, so you'll be with them.
Or Sophie might reincarnate back into your life. Pets do that too.
Yep, I agree. I think my current cat used to be my dog. Yeah, my
Yeah,
my my black cat was I think was my I think was a skipper key. I'm just feeling it. But I
I
do I,
yep,
I do think that your kitty will be passing very quickly.
I do
Just
too. I do too.
so just be supportive and make sure you got all your things for because I know it really is really hard to go through. So much love to you and much love to Sophie. And I've got a candle on my altar. I got a little altar over here because I'm witchy. So I like to burn one every day. So I will say some prayers up for kitty cat Sophie. And I'm so sorry. But you know what? I also feel like that she got such beautiful cards. It's showing that you also, I think, gave her a really good life.
I
There's
think so.
mm-hmm,
Yeah,
this
Sophie's karma is really good.
pristine. Ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding.
Mhm.
Okay. And will I ever be able to move to my dream place? Isadora Smith.
Isadora, will I ever be able to move to my dream place?
And I just want to ask everyone to give us a thumbs up, if you will, because we're about ready to wrap this up. This will be our last question.
Wow, this went so fast. Thank
It
you.
did. Thank you. Thank you for 2 hours of your Sunday. I know that's asking a lot. It is, especially of we introverts. It's like, are you kidding me? Do you know that's just me making coffee. I haven't even gotten warmed up yet. Takes me a long time. Okay, let's see. Ever be able to move to my dream place? I get yes, just intuitively. I hear a yes. But
Oh, hot springs.
hmm,
I think yes, I think the process is unfolding. Um, I think this house that you're gonna move into is gonna be really, really good for you. Like it's gonna be a space to take care of your body in.
oh, sorry, I got the swamp as well.
Oh my gosh. They're polar opposites.
God.
I wonder if you're stuck in the swamp right now, like if you're like living in tight quarters with people or
Uh-huh.
not being able to take good care of yourself. I'm kind of similar. I'm about to move and um I live with people now and I'm looking to move solo to like a solo place so I have more space to myself and like privacy.
Mm. Yes, that's what kind of where I'm headed to. Actually, that's very interesting. Because I have no privacy, no dedicated space for my art and you know, it's noisy here. It's time I've been in this house since 1989. So,
Wow.
and I get with her for her I'm getting Wild Woman and Band-Aid. And I thought, well, that's just not enough. This is just tiding you over until you can go to your wild place, your reclusive cave. I
Yeah, where you're headed is extremely healing.
just got drunken sailor in the swamp next
Yeah,
door.
where you might be coming from might be pretty
That
toxic.
yeah, that's what I think. So it's like the fact that she got, you can see that she's kind of being protected in the time being, but she's going to get away from this energy, this toxic stuff. Does that make any sense, Isadora? Very cramped. Yes.
Very cramped. Those were the words.
Yes.
Tight quarters.
I also get war and dragon. I think you need to definitely keep your boundaries, be more, I think, don't let people step on you. Like, hey, that's my space. Don't eat my salad. I see definitely also maybe somebody that, maybe that's the drunken sailor. I don't know. Maybe he's shouting a lot. Tools. You get airplane and dancing shoes. So yeah, I just think it's just a little while longer. It's not that much longer. And I think you will be out of there and happy.
Yeah, I think you have to like get your resources in order, get your plans in order, and really like push and take action on them to find this house.
Definitely. And especially with the dragon, yeah, that's definitely, I think, as well, pushing energy. Dancing shoes, angsty teen, and key. Just make sure you don't give the angsty teen the key to the new place. I'm just kidding. But
you might need to rush it. I never like giving people that advice, but like with dragon made me think like you have to take action to make this move happen.
Right.
Like you have to get your resources in order. There might be grants if you need something financially to help you. But angsty teen with the key makes me think like you might need to like get your gears in motion like faster to make this happen right now. There like time might be of the essence.
She's saying she's laughing out loud about it. Yes. Sending good thoughts your way. Did I miss something? All right. Well, I tell you what. Oh, she says Sophie the kitty is 21, so she's ready.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, bless her. She has been on a mission as well. She's ready for little R&R. You know? And I think that's as well why she got such beautiful cards. But thank you so much for joining us. I'm just going to make sure I got everyone's questions. I think I've got it. Yep. And it was a joy to read with you. I'd love to have you come back sometime, and especially when you are looking to create your YouTube.
Oh wow, thank you. That would be great. Yeah. This was such a amazing experience.
Well, thank you. It was an amazing experience for me too. Really enjoyed it. And again, I'd love to have you come back whenever you've got like some free time on a Sunday and you want to chit chat about the cards and stuff. I hope you will be open to that.
Great. Thanks, Maya.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you so much. And thanks to all of you. So please make sure to give us a thumbs up. And I will get the other information from Hannah about her site and contact info. And anyway, it's in the description box. So thumbs up. Thanks, you guys. I hope you have a great Sunday. Bye-bye.